Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Down to Earth Reviews. This is your host Jace. Sorry I'm talking a little quiet, my whole family's asleep. It's a pretty late night here for me. So basically we're just going to get right into it. What you're watching is, first off, the Ronin Glitches. Now, the one you're seeing right now, I put it in slow-mo for you, so you can see that I pulled the battery out of a Ronin. When you phase dash with a Ronin, right as you pull the battery, it actually, the pilot gets the battery, but the Ronin still has a battery in his Titan, and he loses no health. So, I don't know, that's super buggy, and it's pretty cheap because even if the Ronin's doomed, you cannot kill him. The next glitch is a phase dash glitch. Now, basically the trick is you phase and dash at the same exact time, and you cover about double, if not triple, the distance as if you were to normally just like dash, dash, phase, if that makes sense, or like dash, phase, dash, however you want to do it. So, and it makes contesting batteries almost physically impossible, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, getting to middle battery, man, beating the Ronin there before he can get out and get it is almost impossible. Now I'm gonna show you off some, just basically some damage of the Titans. You can see, like, or these are different Titans and how much damage they're doing to the Ronin. So, Northstar just got a nerf recently in the patch. I guess it wasn't a Northstar nerf, it was an indirect nerf to Ion and Northstar, but it was a patch or a fix, kind of a buff for Ronin in a way, because what they did is they fixed all damage, all potential damage, or all blocking damage that Ronin was supposed to block, basically. And because Northstar used to pierce Ronin's sword when he was blocking, and you would actually go straight through the sword and hit him with damage. Now this was cool because this was actually a direct counter to Ronin. But now since they did that, Ronin, honestly, he has no counter. And I hate to say it because, like, I'm an LTS player. I've been in multiple tournaments. I've actually won over, like, 3 to 4K between Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2. And when I hear other people say, like, oh, Ronin sucks, it's hard for me to hear that because I know, like, as a competitive LTS player in tournaments, Ronin is the only pick. Like, your team has to have a Ronin to win because he is that overpowered. In a 1v1 situation, Ronin, yeah, he can be beat because he has to block the whole time. But in a team situation, it's really tough. Now, here's a part I really want to talk about. Scorch. Why the heck can Ronin block fire? Like, this, I honestly don't understand it. He doesn't have a sword on his feet. Like, his feet don't have swords, and they're not blocking fire. So why is his sword bouncing around, blocking fire? And the other thing is, like, I have a little video showing you how hard it would actually be. Like, Ronin is not, unless you're playing a retard, like a complete moron, Ronin's not going to be standing still in your fire the whole time. He'll phase in, pop a smoke, arc you, like, it's impossible to beat a Ronin with a Scorch. Even in a team game, you're not going to do it. And, oh, just to take it, like, I wanted you guys to see, I hope I didn't mess this, but at the top right, you're seeing the damage, the actual numbers that he's blocking for each attack for each Titan. I actually have that recorded, so it'll show you. So if you want to know how much damage he's taking with a block from those specific weapons and Titan classes and abilities, you can see it right there. And now for Monarch Patch notes. So this is actually really interesting to me as well because I did not expect any of this, and that is not in a good way. That's in almost like entirely a bad way because this almost breaks a lot of the core mechanics of the game. And I was actually watching Inequity Games. It's another fellow like YouTuber, and he covers basically anything and everything Titanfall, and I give him a big shout out first of all because he does have a lot of viewers watching his channels and his videos. And he does love the game. You can really tell in the way he covers it and the way he presents himself in the games. But like, not to dog on him, but he really doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, he seems to me as a very casual gamer, and on the competitive end of the side, you can just tell he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Like, for example, in the video, he said, I never knew that when you had a shield on your Titan, that if you took damage, that Titan was not building core. Now that honestly blew my mind, and I told some of my friends that because I'm just like, how do you not know that? And I guess if you don't play competitive LTS, like if you're not doing tournaments in Last Titan Standing, the game mode, That's something you might not know, so it's a very casual thing. But on the other end, that's one of the things in Titanfall 2, when playing LTS, that's like, it was like the biggest core mechanic of the game. Because when you're the last Titan left on your team and you're having all your friends go around and be like, yo, as pilots, you're like, dude, I need a battery, like, I need a battery right now. And they go and give you a battery, and then the other 2 Titans, they're hitting you, or one Titan that's like a 1v1 and he's not building core off of you. That's a huge advantage, because cores in this game, they're very powerful. They're not like one of those things that give you the advantage. A core in this game is like what ends the game. Like when you're an Ion versus an Ion, or an Ion versus Tone, or however you want to look at it, when whoever gets their core first basically wins, unless you're able to like outmaneuver him with a smoke or play the right corner or something like that. It's very hard to win if you don't have your core first, and that's one of the things that batteries really helps with. And it made it really intense. In a 1v1, you try to get a battery so that they wouldn't build their core off you, then they would get a battery, then you'd have to kind of like poke around corners, hit those damage shots and stuff like that. So that to me was really weird. And I guess besides talking about inequity games and like what he said that I don't agree with, it's just the people that are complaining about these things, I don't think they have the right to complain, because they don't really know how it actually affects the game, besides from like a casual gamer standpoint. Like, and if you're just playing a normal game, I guess you could be like, oh yeah, I understand that, but like it really doesn't affect you because you're not in that situation. So just to get into it, let's look at the new Titan balance patch notes, the general ones. Let's see, we got first, Titan meter and core meter are now gained when damaging shielded Titans. So it kind of goes back to what I'm talking about earlier with inequity gains and statement. This is, I don't know, it's weird. It's really weird because it does hurt Ronin in a way, which I like, because I think Ronin is, everyone in the community, the Titanfall competitive community, I should say, knows that Ronin is the most OP Titan that there is. In a 4v4, he is unstoppable. You cannot kill him, and when he gets his core, he just runs rampant and like destroys your whole team. It's very hard. And so now that you can build core off of him when he's shielding, or when he has that shielded, that battery, that energy bar, it helps get your core a little bit, I guess. But the fact that he can block your cores doesn't really matter. I mean, it kind of just washes out. But this is one of the things where it's like, they just made it it's another core race. Like, it's who can get your core the fastest. And I hate that, because I feel like the core should be the thing that gives you an advantage, not wins you the game. And when you're running around, like, just building core off every single Titan that you're shooting, the games they're gonna be so short. Like, this game is not a sit-back friendly game anymore. It's who can push the hardest, the fastest to get their core, kill the enemy Titans, and win. And that is not what LTS is. Like, that's not what it should be. The battery should be on the map to provide an incentive to go out, but they should not be the thing that leads up to, it's like a cause and effect. You get the battery to build your core to win the game. The fastest way to win the game is by building your cores the quickest, faster than the opposing team. And that's not how Titanfall should be. And then we have a slightly reduced core meter generation from damage to compensate. This makes sense with their change. I mean, I don't agree with the initial one, but since they're doing that, they had to do this so you wouldn't get cores that fast. Now, I don't know how much they compensated it to change. Like, I don't know how slow or how much core you're going to build from damaging a Titan now, as of, like, in comparison to what it was before the patch. We'll just have to find out tomorrow. And then, Titan executions are no longer blocked by shields. This is retarded. This is so stupid, because when you're in an LTS match, one of the only things that saves you, or lets you, the clutch moment, I guess I would call it, when you are one Titan versus 3 Titans, and you have like 1 or 2 pilots helping you out, and you're doomed, and then one of your pilots gives you that battery so a Ronin can't just dash up on you, phase shift, melee you instantly out of phase shift and rip you. It can make you, you can clutch up the game, and you can actually win from this. And that is the coolest thing about the batteries, is that you weren't able to get executed. Now, I can see that some players will get annoyed by this, like, oh, I'm punching him, why is he not being executed, ah! But it's also one of those things where that shield gave that player an advantage, which it should have, and it saved him from getting executed. It's a kind of a cheap, like, executions are kind of a cheap way out around things. And I don't know if they did this specifically for the new Monarch Titan, because I know he can shoot shields, or that's the rumor on the street. He can shoot shields on himself and allied Titans, but they should have just given that shield a different color, and maybe if they had that color of energy shield, they would have still been able to be executed. But battery shields, they should still be to where you can't get executed, because that is the clutch factor of the game. Like, that's what would save you. So up next we got, what do we got? Ion. Ooh, this guy got nerfed bad. So here I'll just read off the screen basically what I'm seeing here. Laser shot now requires more energy, preventing you from double tapping opponents. Reduce laser shot damage. Laser core damage slightly decreased. Now I'm an Ion main, and I was always up for Ion getting nerfed in the beginning of the game, just because he is so strong and he pushes other Titans out of the meta. That's one thing that I am an advocate for. I want every Titan to have their place in the game. And Ronin and Ion, they did push a lot of Titans out. Now, it is cool. I think that this nerf might be a little too heavy, I guess, because this really does, it's almost like they just took him out of, they might as well just take him out of the game. We'll have to see if he's still, like, valuable in a team comp, but I don't know, I can't really even further comment. I like it. I like it, I do. I'm an Ion main. I won a 1v1 Ion tournament the other weekend, which was cool, and so it's going to be harder to play with him for sure, but I think it balances the gameplay out more initially. The only disappointment with this Ion nerf is Ronin didn't get nerfed at the same time, and Ion was one of Ronin's biggest counters. Like, if you play a good Ronin in a 1v1, it is almost impossible to beat him with anyone but Ion or Northstar, and you have to run the whole time with Northstar in order to beat him. You just gotta run, set a trap, shoot, run, set a trap, and so on and so forth. So it's gonna be weird, and that was kind of disappointing. I wish they would have nerfed both Titans, or gave Scorch a buff to where he could hurt Ronin with his fire. That would kind of balance out the game a little bit more, that type of thing. And so enough on that. I mean, it is what it is. I like it, but I wish they would have nerfed Ronin at the same time. And then lastly is the pilot balance. So with the pilot balance, you have the two guns that I really care about is the Flatline and the R201 and the 101. So these guns now, I guess I could see, I don't know where Respawn is nerfing, like if they're focusing on PC specifically, because on PC I can see this making sense. On console, this makes absolutely no sense. So if you guys remember Titanfall 1, the only guns you could use competitively, or excuse me, the only gun you can use competitively was the R101. It was like a sniper machine gun. And that's what it kind of seems like they're doing now with this R101 and 201. Those guns are incredibly accurate. Up close, far range, hip firing. Like, hip firing is actually amazing. It's like a submachine gun. You can kill someone just as fast hip firing up close with this gun as you could, maybe not an alternator, but a car. So it's the perfect mid-range, now the perfect long-range, and the perfect short-range weapon. So why would you want to use anything else? That's what's weird to me about these guns. Like, they just buffed them, gave them the buff. That makes them the only gun you will want to use in a competitive scene in Titanfall. And while they're nerfing, like, the Hemlock, like, they're nerfing all the guns that have these range advantages, but then they're taking down their damage, so there's no point in using them. It's weird to me. And this kind of goes into the next gun, the Flatline. So this gun did have outrageous damage. But I don't know if you guys have shot that gun. That gun is so freaking hard to aim. Like, you might, I mean, hip firing is pretty good, but still, when you're shooting that gun, it's like jerking you around everywhere. So I don't know. I don't agree. I mean, it's worse. It's just the worst R101 now. It's just an R101 that can't aim. So that's where I'm at with that one. So that's kind of weird. And guys, that's basically it. That's the patch notes. That's the Nerf Ronin rant that I wanted to get out there. Hopefully they see this. Hopefully they see at least the bugs with Ronin to fix. And I will leave you guys with 5 tones coring 1 Ronin. And yeah, if that's not OP, I don't know what is.
Novel core ready.